me, slipping with the wailing on me. I went to calling out for Jesus like a reverend on me. Chalked it up to sin, took it on my chin.
It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bengals and the Bears, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Joe Burrow of the Bengals, Andy Dalton of the Bears.
We do indeed, and something I'm going to be watching for. Who can get off to a fast start? If you can go out, get points on the first drive, preferably a touchdown, you can really set the tone for the game. And I think that both of these quarterbacks are more than capable of doing just that.
McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Soldier Field. Taking it about the 1. For the first time, here comes the Chicago Bear offense, led out by the veteran in his first season in Chicago, but 11th overall, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
Dalton, 1st and 10. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
And the hitch route is run really well. That jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space. All you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 34 yards the gain that time, another 1st down.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Time to see the Bengals offense go to work. And leading them out, the #1 overall pick in the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, now his 2nd season out of LSU.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, nearly 270 yards a game passing, the 3rd most by a rookie in NFL history.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Eddie Goldman able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just run them in.
And he hit the deck, but he did not get there. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep, Damiere Byrd. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Dalton. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 31, Dalton. Swings this out here for Cohen. And taking it to the 15-yard line before it's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. After 1 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Come on now.
Passing, it's Dalton. That's complete to Mooney. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the 1st down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Brandon Wilson to return it. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3-and-out on their opening drive.
And Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that seems to fly under the radar, but he finds ways to get open, and he has nice hands. He's averaged right around 80 catches a year his last 3 seasons.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to hit 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Burrow. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
This goes out wide for Mixon. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Dalton, he's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to get the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Two veterans there, Dalton to Robinson for the Bears' first down.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on third down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys. A great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that first down.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's going to wind up and air it out. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, 77 yards, and the Bears will extend their lead. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best play is just up from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Wilson now on the return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bengals set to take over. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow under pressure, and they got to him again. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Here's a give to Mixon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Well, the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Dalton now to pass. The screen pass here to Cohen. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Second and 6 with the ball on the 7. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Throwing, Dalton. Caught on the slant. Touchdown! Cole Kmet, a 7-yard touchdown grab as the Bears push further out in front.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Santos now to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Bengals drive about to get going as they take over with just 17 seconds left before the break. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half out of the veteran quarterback, Andy Dalton. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Cincinnati. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Bears, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. Taken at the goal line. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Open man is Uzomah. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Mixon with a first down carry. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. This is Mixon on the draw. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One of the things where the premium in the first half is able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Dalton. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And 2021 in the draft, the first tight end off the board, Florida's Kyle Pitts at number 4 to Atlanta. The first tight end taken in 2020 was this guy, Cole Kmet, number 43 overall. Really started to come on late last season. A good grab there for a 1st down.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second and 11 now. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A give. This is Montgomery. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Here's Dalton. That is caught by Cohen. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Matt Nagy has made the decision. They're going to go for it here. Now Dalton. Going to let one fly for Robinson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Bengals will get the football back. So certainly the question there, 4th and very short, why throw so deep?
Sometimes the defense actually forces you into these things. Sometimes. What happens is you might end up in a man coverage where they press up tight. Could be a zone coverage where they're crowding the line of scrimmage, and receivers have to convert their routes to try and beat that coverage, and you end up throwing it deeper than you want to. Preferably, you want a 3-yard pass in this situation, get the first down and keep the sticks going.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now Burrow on first down. There's the rookie from LSU. It's Jamar Chase. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And Jamar Chase won the 2019 Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver while at LSU. And the guy who threw him the passes there, Joe Burrow, now his quarterback at Cincinnati.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Four yards remain for second down. A handoff to Mixon. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Bengals are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On first down, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. And this will be caught by Mooney. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
57.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Second and 11. Draw play, Cohen. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. On 2nd down now. It's Montgomery trying to run inside, but nothing there. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
When we watch games now, because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away,